Hello, I am Melody Ann, founder of Author Nation. Author Nation is a YouTube channel, and it is a community of authors, nonfiction authors. So if you want to become a successful nonfiction author, join the community. I will put the link in the description. In today's video, I want to talk about book launch basics. Your book launch is that period right before and right after your book becomes available for purchase by the public. Most authors put extra time, money, and energy into their book launch. Before you launch a book, you will obviously need an author platform. And I suggest you have a media kit and a one sheet. I'm not going to talk about them in this video. I have videos about those, and I will put the links in the description for you. You can go watch those. Let's talk about some of the activities many authors do around their book launch. First off, some authors like to make book trailers, and that's something you want to do right before your book launch, or you can do it as early as whatever you want, but you want to start putting it out so people can see it before the launch of the book, and it helps create buzz for your book. Book launch parties are another obvious for a book launch. They can be online, they can be offline, they can be both. Bestseller campaigns on Amazon or whatever distribution service you are using. In fact, some services have special campaigns just for launch. So whatever service you're using, Amazon or Ingram Sparks or Lulu or Smashbooks, whatever you happen to be using, find out what they have specifically for book launches. One thing many services offer is a pre-launch price or pre-launch sales. That's something else I suggest you look into. It's really useful to say, hey, there's this new book coming out. It'll regularly be $8.99 for the ebook, let's say, and it's going to be like $4.99 for the ebook for the first, if you pre-buy it, and that can help generate sales. Another mainstay for launch are ARCs, Advanced Reader Copies. Advanced Reader Copies are great for reviews. Again, I have an entire video. It's all on ARCs, so I'll put the link in the description and you can watch that. What I've just mentioned are activities that you should seriously consider. These are kind of mainstays of launching a book. Okay, then there are activities that you can do at any time, but they're often accelerated around launch. So book blog tours, podcast tours, you can do that anytime. You could do a blog or a podcast every month for the rest of your life, talking about your book. But around book launch, people often do, like 2 or 3 in a week, just to kind of get that book out there and get talking about the book and creating buzz about the book. Another thing that you can do at any time, but I suggest you seriously consider around launch is cross-promotion with other authors. So if you are writing a self-help book and you have other self-help books that you love, talking to those authors and suggesting that you promote each other around that time through blogs, through social media, through video, however you happen to communicate with your followers, that's a really good launch activity. Book promotion sites. This is obviously I'm the author, I pay the book promotion site, and then they promote it out to their list. Some book promotion sites have lists of 50,000 readers, 100,000 readers, and they'll charge you $20 or $40 or $60 to send your book out to their readers. Usually this is done while the book is discounted. You usually kind of mix those up. And again, you can do this at any time. I know authors who do this like every 3 months to get their book out. You know what? You can kind of stack it along with your blog tours and your podcast tours and with your book promotion right together at launch to kind of create opportunity for more people to find your book, especially when you're looking for reviews. And then there are things like setting up your author profile on sites like Goodreads, for example, and doing giveaways. That's a really common launch activity. But again, you could do it at any time. So this list is not exhaustive. Although you may feel exhausted doing it all, it's not exhaustive. There are many ways you can promote your book. You are limited by your creativity, and I certainly couldn't list them all here. But that gives you 2 sets of activities. 1, things I strongly suggest you do around book launch if you're going to do them, and 2, things you accelerate around book launch, but that you could do at any time. The point is that at book launch, you are trying to get your book, this brand new book that nobody knows about, in front of as many ideal readers as possible. At launch, few people know you've written a book, so you really want to spread the word as quickly and as far as you can. So these activities at launch help solve these problems. And it starts your longer term promotion plan, including testing ideas for promotion. Another problem that new books often have is the lack of reviews. The launch of a book can take that into consideration, and you can look for ways to get reviews. Even if you make fewer sales on launch, if you build up what's necessary for longer-term success, right? Having an excellent author platform, having good sales pages, getting reviews, that will help you with your long-term planning. So as you're thinking about and setting up your book launch, keep these questions in mind, or ask yourself these questions. How do you get your book in front of as many people as possible? Who has an audience that is exactly the same as your ideal reader? How can you connect with them? How can you collaborate with them? Will they champion you? How do you get reviews? Having a number of excellent reviews really helps your book sales long-term. And finally, how can you move from a launch to a long-term plan? How can you set up your launch to help that long-term plan? And how can that launch help contribute to finding readers long-term? When you're thinking about your launch, I suggest you start planning it about 6 months ahead. This is why traditionally published books take a year or 2 years to get published. They're doing all of these pieces. And I've heard people say, oh yeah, get your book published in 30 days. Get your book published in 30 days and see it languish somewhere? Take, 6 months. Think about all of these pieces and what you're going to do, where you're going to put your time, your energy, your money, fit them all together. You can start with simple things. 6 months before, you can just start the planning process. I'm not saying you have to go out and actually do these things, but start the planning process. Take one idea a week and expand on that. 1 week, work on a book trailer. The next week, work on a launch party. One piece at a time. And things you can do actually to help promote your book is start talking about it on social media. Start talking about it on podcasts very slowly. Just start talking about the fact that you are publishing a book and sending out ARCs to get reviews. All of these little pieces help, and you can do this well before you actually launch the book. Then right at launch, and for about a month or more after that, you'll do your launch parties, your book blog tours, your podcast tours, use your promotion sites, and every other idea that you've decided you want to use to promote your book. For more ideas, download the Author Nation Promotion Checklist. There are endless ideas for you there.